On this episode of Be the Teacher, we will be borrowing some of our information from stage manager Lois Dawson. If you like what you hear here, you might check out her blog where she discusses a number of arts and entertainment topics.
Go. Light 72. Go. 73. Go. 74. Go.
A quick Google search shows me that there isn't a lot of information on stage management scripts online. The first thing that pops up are the Wikipedia articles on stage management and prompt scripts. Both are informative, but short and contain very little information on how to do the job or create the book. Right off the top, let me say that this video is not an exhaustive reference on the subject of stage management scripts. If there's one thing a stage manager knows, it is that every stage manager has his or her own style, and that the prompt script tends to change to reflect that style. In fact, as a stage manager works, he or she will change over time to find things that better serve the way he or she is working. What is a prompt book? A prompt book documents everything about the production and could be used as a blueprint to remount the production if a company desires. Created by the stage manager over the entire course of the production, from prep to closing, it is the property of the production company. There is no official way to create or maintain a prompt script. It is one of the elements of stage management that shows the most personality, as every stage manager has a slightly different style. Usually a prompt book is contained in a 3-ring binder and uses tab dividers to separate out the different sections. Many stage managers prefer a presentation view binder that allows you to put a cut-down copy of the poster in the front to allow for easy show identification later on. On the spine of the binder, many people place the show title, director, dates, company, and stage manager. In your prompt book, you will most likely include the following major tabs: contact lists, schedules, breakdowns, script, cues, copies of all rehearsal reports, copies of all light, sound, costume, and props paperwork, minutes from production meetings, anything else that might come in handy. At the front of the book, you will find your contact list, schedules, and breakdowns. These will be your first sections for sure. The contact list for your show should have the name, job or role, phone number, and email address of everyone involved. It should be near the front of the book so that when someone is missing and you need to get a hold of them, you can quickly get the contact information you need. You are going to end up with a lot of different schedules for the show. Likely you will have one in a calendar format, which will have all the rehearsal and show hours on it for the duration of the project. But you will also have daily schedules, which you will want to keep on file. In addition to rehearsal schedules, there will be tech schedules, fitting schedules, building schedules, and so on. You will want to keep each of these organized so that you can find what you need when you need it. For any of you who aren't sure what a breakdown is, it is a way to capture the script in a page or two. You usually list the act and scene number and then include who is on stage when, who sings and dances in which numbers, how long each scene is, etc. Rather than having to go through the script, all you need to do is flip to your breakdown and see who is in, for example, Act 1, Scene 3. Some plays don't actually have scene breaks written into them, so by creating a custom breakdown, this will help you, the director, the cast, and the crew to all be on the same page. When one person says Scene 3, you all know which scene is being referred to. Next, you will include the script. What you are looking at here is not just a photocopy of the script, but a copy of the script that is formatted with wide margins for writing notes in. Usually, a stage manager will hole punch on the right-hand side, opposite of what a normal hole punch would be, so that he or she has a blank page next to the script for blocking. If it is a bound script, you will want to photocopy the script page so that it is in the middle with white margins all around. It can take some trial and error to get right, but it's worth it when it comes time to write in cues and take down the blocking. Once in your binder, the script page will be on the left and you will have a blank page on the right. For our class, I ask that the blank page on the right be divided into columns. In column 1, we place environmental needs, where we write any prop, set, and light information we will need for the corresponding script page. Column 2 is beats, where we write a character's purpose in the scene. I did an entire film on beats, so if you need to know exactly how to find a beat, I recommend you watch that video. Column 3 is for blocking. Blocking is another one of those things that every stage manager does a bit differently. For our book, I ask that you turn this column into a series of small stages. Each stage is assigned to the lines of dialogue on the page opposite so that you can easily figure out where the action is to happen. Next, write the initials of the actor's name. In this case, let's use DN and TK. How about David Nice and Tommy Kind? Followed by the action. I use shorthand for writing blocking out. For instance, EXT, that is exit, and X equals cross, etc. I use the floor plans to draw the crosses, as it is often easier to draw the path they take than it is to write out specific notations. This is far from being the only way to write blocking. Now, here's where I use a handy-dandy secret to be able to write in marker that you can erase. For my books, I place each page in a page protector. On page protectors, you can write in permanent Sharpie marker. Believe it or not, by using a dry erase marker like an Expo marker, you can color over the Sharpie and then erase with a cloth. The permanent Sharpie will be gone and you will be able to make corrections. This is a great trick, and it helps you to put things down in marker so that items don't get accidentally erased or smudged. Sometimes I will use a fourth column and I will leave room for additional information. If you only have space for 3 columns, this can be accomplished with a pad of Post-it notes. Next, your stage management book will hold your cues. Like so many other elements of stage management, the way you write in your cues is a very personal thing. The only necessity is that it be easily understood so that if someone else had to call your show, they could. For this video, let's explore the Post-it flag method. The reason we use the Post-it flags is that when you are in tech and cues are shifting, it is very easy to move the cue around the page without having to erase anything. You might consider using a different color Post-it for lights, sound, quick changes, projections, and special effects. Write on your Post-it with a Sharpie pen. Include the cue type and number, for example, light 6, sound 4, projection 17. Next, write the cue word from the script in pencil and stick it in the book opposite the line of the script.
Light 76, spot 1 on Tracy. Go. Platform go. Spot 1 stamina to dim down to 25% with light 78. Light 78, spot 3 on Amber. Go.
Lock it.
Light Q80, spot 2 on Penny.
If there are multiple cues going on at the same time, you can group those Post-it notes together. For a student, this is some of the essential information you will need to include. But what are some other items that you might need as you get into professional realms? Additional items you will keep in your book will be copies of all rehearsal reports. A typical rehearsal report includes the following information: what was covered in rehearsal, who was present, notes for each department, props, costumes, set, lighting, publicity, any alterations to the script, general notes for the production team, especially deadlines for getting things in or important dates. You might have copies of all lighting, sound, props, and costume paperwork that you can get from your technicians, such as a copy of the lighting plot, soundtrack listings, and a costume breakdown, to name a few. You should also have a section to write minutes from the production meetings. Sometimes it is up to the stage manager to take the minutes at production meetings, but often they are taken by the production manager and will be emailed out. It is important to keep copies of these minutes handy, as they will contain deadlines, ideas, and questions that may still need answers. Finally, you may have a catch-all section for anything else you might need. So that's it for this episode of Be the Teacher. Now you know so many things. You know what a prompt book is. You know what tabs you need to include in your prompt book. You know about contact lists, schedules, breakdowns. You know how to include your script in your prompt book. You know about blocking and about our columns that we require for our particular class. You also have a system for calling cues now using Post-it notes, and know about some of the additional items you would include, such as rehearsal reports, paperwork from other departments. You may need to write minutes from production meetings, and you might want to have a catch-all section, just in case. So this is how to do a stage management book. Again, each manager has his or her own process, but this is a great place to start. Have fun building your book, and I'll see you next time on Be the Teacher.
Lights 282, spots 2 and 3 on seaweed. Go. Lights 283. Go. 284. Go. Lights 286, all spots out. Go.